Hey! Hello, everybody. Sorry we're late. Everybody. How is everybody? Bit of a TBA today. It's been a while. We're trying to I'm trying to warm myself up because we're going to start the Wednesdays again next week. Skeleton Crew. Yes, we are live. Okay. Shall we get the guests out? Yeah, let's do it. Let's just get on with it. Okay, so there's no script. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm expecting Papa to walk upstairs and walk in and go, are they cats? Anyway, okay, let's get the guests out. Secret of comedy, folks. Timing. Okay, first up, reach around, droid of choice. It is Zee-ThreePIO.
Hello, Brown. Was that the sound of your penis opening a door?
That was the sound of timing.
How are you, my friend?
No, that was actually my wallet opening. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, my friend. Let's get today's
Let's just get them out.
TBA on
Yes.
the road.
Okay.
Whatever's going on here tonight, I don't know.
Oh, it's just a little bit of chill and chat and chill. Who knows? Okay, so okay. Oh, what a green room! What a green room!
It's action packed tonight, Brune.
Who should I let on? Come on, Z. Who do you think?
Oh no, you just gonna have to flip a coin.
I haven't got one. Go on. Who do you think? If you were presenting,
yes,
because you're in the presenter seat. Go on.
I would bring on a guy who makes so many videos.
Who's that?
I've no idea.
High price.
Hey, how's it going?
How many videos have you made today?
I haven't made one today, but I did release. Actually, did I release? I did the Wicked one, but I think that was already before the weekend. It's all a blur to me at this point. But
you're getting some heat for that, aren't you?
Yeah, a lot of people, more than usual, a lot of people went to that video to write negative comments about me. And I think it's actually the video that got the most thumbs down that I ever got on a video, and people got annoyed. But I have a theory. There's some kind of forum for theater connoisseurs in the UK that's called like Theater Board UK or something like that.
Theater balls.
Yes, and somebody posted my video on that board, calling me names, and I guess other people then went and looked at it and then called me names on the video.
Oh dear,
it's okay though. I mean, it's all, you know.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Of course, and I never budged from my opinion. If anything, all these weirdos that went there and wrote the comments, they only made me feel like I said something true.
Nice. That's comfort in itself. So it's great to have you on, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
I got a quick chat here from Wrench. Just bring them all in together like Drinker brackets 2M subs does.
Was that for me?
No, I think that's directed at me, even though I've been doing these longer than Drinker. But anyway, never mind. Shall we get the next peep out?
Let's do it.
Okay. Here we go. World of Swap Shop. Hey.
Oh, hello, gentlemen. How are we this evening?
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. I would just like to say regarding Price's Wicked review, I thought it was absolutely on the head of the nail. I thought, even though I haven't seen it, I don't intend to, I thought he'd pretty much summed up the whole thing. And just by listening to that, I knew that it wasn't, I guaranteed it wasn't for me. I knew it wasn't already, but, you know, I just thought that's pretty much exactly what I expected. And if you're getting pushback from it from other people on the internet, then you know you're over the target, which means that should just validate. That should
That's not a word.
That should validify everything you said. So I think, well done. Keep going, Price.
Yeah, I felt that way too. I mean, if those guys at that forum all had weird meltdowns and came to the video to write stuff, they would only do that if I annoyed them. And I think that the part that annoyed them the most is that I explained that the guy that wrote the book that Wicked play is based on, he was basically sort of a quote unquote progressive author that had his own agenda. And I was explaining how the agenda plays out and how because there's this Broadway play, it sort of flew under everybody's radar, but there's really bad intentions here, and I just don't like it. And I stand by everything that I said and not fazed by any of the criticism.
Yeah, these people just need to work out that there are certain people in the world with different opinions to theirs. That's all. So they'll get it eventually, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Good.
Wicked.com.
Yes. Shall we get the next peep out?
Oh, please.
Okay. Okay, this is a tough choice. Just amuse yourself, folks. I'm deciding blah, 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 blah. Who do you think, Swappers? It's a tough one, this, isn't it?
Oh, who have we got waiting again? Oh, let's get the Scottish one on.
Hi, Melvin.
He wasn't expecting it, was he?
Yeah,
Hi.
Mega Geek's not Scottish. Mega Geek's from Trinidad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You all right, Melvin?
I'm fine. I'm great. How we doing, people?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
You just got a comment deleted, Brian, by the Google moderator team. What did you
Oh,
say?
you know what that is, don't you?
What?
I did wicked.com. They've obviously started up to it.
Yeah. Jay Goodwin got deleted about a week ago for the same thing on here. They're watching you, Brian.
Really? I've done wicked.com on other streams, mainly Gary's, and it's been fine.
They've wised up to it.
Here you go. See Sword Nose. Wickkid.com. There you go.
That's even worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't go to that one.
That just reminded me. That's Frank Drebin. I haven't had this much sex since I was a Boy Scout leader. I'm getting that on a t-shirt.
Hello, Brian Wrenched. Mr. Band Alliance. Brian, if you want to come on the space, mate, always space for you, mate.
Go on, Brian.
Get your ass in it.
I do believe there's another gentleman. What do you think?
Room for one more?
Should we let him on?
6 in a bed.
And the little one said, Mega Geek. Mega Geek.
He's muted.
Oh, no.
Sorry. It's me. Yeah.
You're
Hello. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Just sorting things out.
Is it Nakuti? Who's that?
Shooty. Is it Shooty?
Not this week.
Dr. Hugh.
Although, watch this space.
Yeah, they spelled it wrong. It's C-U-N.
That's terrible.
Oh. How are you doing, Ian? What have you been up to?
I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah, no, I just finished the shoot and I'm just really
Oh, yeah, we're
tired.
shooting.
It's just corporate rubbish, you know. It's not even worth talking about. It's just nonsense that I shoot. So, yeah, if it was Rebecca Gold, I'd say, but it wasn't, unfortunately. But there you go.
How's Rebecca Gold going?
It's going all right. I still got a bit to go next year, and once I've done that, I'll be done. But hopefully, a trailer will be coming out soon. And based on the trailer, you can decide whether you want to still support me. But yeah, the trailer will be out in a couple of days, and then that'll be that. Really, you can decide.
How many more minutes do you think you have to film?
About 30. So
wow.
Well, it's because I'm shooting once a month. I've been shooting once a month for 2 years now.
I know that feeling.
So yeah, exactly. So it's a long road, but I thank God the people who are involved had stuck with it. So there you go. because they believe in it, I guess.
There you go, Franco, great wrench, great moderator. Watch the first series of Rebecca Gold.
Yeah, you do that. I
Here
need
you
some
go,
more
folks.
subs. I need some more subs.
Yeah, subs, everybody. Come on.
Sub me.
Wrenched. Mega Geek just finished shooting his last corporate. The Jaguar advert.
That advert was, I don't even know what to make of that advert. It's absolutely awful, isn't it? I don't know why do people do that?
It's not good.
It's like a dream sequence in I don't know, gay porn or something.
Yeah.
Gay porn? Where?
You got Z going now.
Okay, so what's it's pretty much just free riffing, folks. So chat, if there's anything you want us to talk about or anything that's narked you in the real world, just throw it in the chat. If I pick it up, we'll talk about it. It's just mainly to get back into the habit of doing Wednesdays. We've got the skeleton crew.
Oh God, no.
That's next
Coming
week, isn't it?
It is. I thought Disney had put it forward a week, but it's a couple of days apparently. Is it coming in on Monday?
I mean, who
No
cares?
comment.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't care.
It's Disney. I don't put it in my diary. It just
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. I hear that the Captain America Brave New World, or whatever they call it now, is going for another reshoot. Another reshoot. So
yeah, slide for that on Sunday. Yeah,
absolutely terrible. And that must be an awful film then. If they keep getting negative responses from test screenings, it's got to be bad, right?
it's not looking good, is it? Cartoon Man, I haven't checked my email. I'll have a look though.
I got sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I got Dave Cullen's novel today. I thought I'd support him because I really like Dave Cullen. He's written a sci-fi detective story thing. I don't know if you guys know about it.
No.
What's the name of the lead? Deckard.
No, it's not Deckard. It's called is it a Devious Machine? A Cody Stockton mystery. His name is Cody Stockton. And I thought, as I said, because I really like him, I think he talks a lot of sense, and so I thought I'd get it and support him. So I'm going to start reading it soon. So, and how many pages is it? Jesus, I just got it today. It's not very long, so I look forward to reading it. I thought I'd mention that. So,
is it what? Anyway. Is it a hard copy? Is it a digital copy? What is it?
Well, I got the paperback. I got the book. I can't stand reading off tablets and stuff. It drives my head crazy. I'd rather read real books and stuff. You know, like every time I go to the toilet, I'll read this. You know, instead of looking at my phone.
I'm going to say, if you're only going to read it in the toilet, I don't want to read it when you're finished.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Here you go, folks. Wrenched at Mr. Brownlow's. Can the panel talk about the weird interviews the Wicked cast have been giving? Have you seen those?
I'm going to say, no, we don't want to talk about them weirdos. There we go. I seen what happened. Somebody done a video about that today. Who was it? I can't remember. Gary. It was Gary. Didn't he?
He was talking about it on the Noon as well.
You know that girl, the black girl? She used to go to my niece's school.
Cynthia Revo?
Yeah,
she's a Brit.
Oh, my condolences.
British, yeah. Yeah. So even my sister's kid remembered her.
She's fantastic inside. She is special.
I saw some interview that she was like weeping, and there's
yes,
another lady, and I think, and in every interview she starts weeping.
I'm so incredible. I'm so
I find
inside.
it. Don't you think? Right, it's really weird because I saw an interview with them, and that other girl, I can't remember her name. She's a pop star. I can't remember because I don't follow
Ariana
her.
Grande.
Yeah, was holding her hand, and they were like, you
Yeah,
know,
that
like,
was weird.
And then they were complimenting the interviewer and
Yeah.
telling her how stunning and brave she is. It's
Yeah.
really cringe, yeah.
But the thing is, though, it's really sad how they don't realize how they come across. They
Well-
really are stuck in their own bubble, aren't they?
They were in a safe space, though, weren't they? Do you see what I did there?
They come across as insane. It's like a therapy session. That stuff should be private. Keep it between you and your psychiatrist. I don't want to know. It's terrible. They're mental. Normal people don't talk like that or behave like that.
Normal people don't touch like that.
Not these days. Not these days.
Well, that's a great question.
No, I'm crazy. I'm just confused because, again, right? That must be these people in Hollywood must be crazy. Can they not see how cringe they are coming across as? Can they not see that? It's obvious to anyone that's not part of Hollywood.
The words really, really insecure was mentioned, especially the one who plays the Green Witch.
The thing is, though,
Cox.
she is not a very pretty person, is she? I mean, she's not. She's. But the thing, look,
The
there's a
views
Hollywood.
of the panel do not necessarily.
Look, there's a Hollywood standard, isn't there, for heroes and you know, when they play the actors play heroes and when they play villains and stuff. There's a standard, right?
Yeah,
And she does look like a villain, but
that nose ring, the fucking oink ring, take it out for God's sake.
But the thing is, though, again, right? I'm confused. I would never cast someone like that in that role, and I don't know why they did. Well, I do know why they did, but
Why?
You know the the Conjuring movies with the nun in them. The actress in that has got a very distinct look, and she works well for that character. I'll say that she's not classically Hollywood beautiful. So I don't know if you could apply that to this actress or not, but she doesn't look anything like the character from Wizard of Oz. I'll say that.
No, but I mean, again, right? This is Hollywood being stupid by casting a woman of color in that role. It's just like the Captain America film, right?
Mm.
So listen to this logic, right? They want to push men of color in film, right? So what they did is they took a black character that was created solely for a black man, black hero, and they took that character and they took him out of that character, and then they put him in a white character, which is Captain America, and they think they're doing good by doing that. No, they're not, because his main character was black. Why don't you celebrate that character, Falcon? Why don't you make a film about Falcon?
People like Falcon
because he is black, and because it's like taking Shaft, right, and going, right, he's going to be James Bond now. Do you know what I mean? It's like it defeats the whole object of having a black protagonist. It really is very stupid, and I don't understand how they can't see that.
It's virtue signaling. They think they're freeing the slaves. They're insane.
They're basically making it worse, because what they're saying is the original character, the original black character, is not good enough. That's what they're saying, and it's stupid. Oh well, I'll stop there.
Hear, hear, Mega.
I don't know. Cynthia Erivo in general is annoying, and I also didn't think that she was that good in the movie. I'm not saying she's a bad actress, but this role wanted you to A, sort of feel a connection with her and like her. B, it wanted to sort of make you connect with her and understand why she, let's say, becomes evil, or I don't even know if she's considered evil, because it's sort of a twisted tale of explaining why she's not evil at all, and the patriarchy and the oppressors are evil, but that's a different story. In any case, the part of connecting with her, I didn't feel it, and I felt that I didn't connect with her because she's just not likable on screen. She's an okay actress. I don't feel like, oh, I really like her. She doesn't give that vibe off. If anything, I'd say that Ariana Grande is a bit more likable, but even she's kind of annoying.
So you didn't like it then?
No, it was one of the worst movies I've seen. Definitely one of the worst this year.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's one of the worst movies I've seen this year for sure.
You're going against the grain because even X-Ray Girl liked it, and
X-Ray
X-Ray Girl liked it, and
Steph, my nerdy home, she liked it as well, and I like those ladies. I respect them and I like them, and I understand. Sometimes there's certain productions that women, even the ones in our circles that call out a lot of stuff. Somehow it speaks to them. There's a lot of ladies that like the Barbie movie, even though I thought that it had a lot of negative messaging and it wasn't a good movie. But sometimes women like stuff, and I guess Wicked is one of those movies. But for me, I separate myself with a few ladies that may have liked it, and I just think to myself that it's another case that there was this classic traditional story that families used to tell their children, and people used to watch this every year on holidays together, the original 1939 movie. And this is another IP, even though maybe because of copyright they were able to do that, copyright expiration or whatever it is, but this is another IP that basically was vandalized. And because in the more recent years it's been associated with more gay and women and things like that, then most just men just say, oh, well, whatever, let's just let the women have it, or they roll over. But I was telling people earlier today, my friends on another stream, that I don't like to roll over. Why do we keep having to give everything away? We gave away Star Wars, we gave away Star Trek, we gave away Doctor Who. Why is it that every franchise, no, let this one go, no, this is the Wizard of Oz, let it go? No, I don't want to let it go.
Let it go, let it go.
I agree with you, because I think in every somebody having a wank, because I think every stage play that they had of Wicked, it was always it was always a white woman, I think, that was cast
Honky
in those shows. I don't know whether she was.
No.
I think, is it not true?
No, there are plenty of black actresses that have played Elphaba on various different versions of the Wicked stage show.
I stand corrected.
I found a compilation of them today.
Right. Okay.
While she's spurting on that she's only the second black woman. She's not. I think she's the sixth.
Okay. Z, could you tell me if the other black women that was cast as that character, were they all right looking?
Yeah.
There you go.
That was my impression of Wicked as well, that even though the witch was the witch was good looking. Like in the posters, the witch is good looking, right?
Yeah.
And then they give us this. She looks like an orc, Lord of the Rings. She's horrendous.
The witch in the original film, Wizard of Oz, very, very not pretty.
No, but I mean in the musical though, the witch was good looking.
Okay.
I just, I think I'm with Price there. I think there's too many films that they hide under that banner and then they wreck something. But you know what? I don't care, because I don't own Star Wars and I don't own Doctor Who. They can have it.
Dr. Watts.
I've got my memories of the good stuff. They can't take that away from me. If they want to wreck the IPs of certain things that was beloved by millions around the world, then let them do it, because we have no power over it.
By the way, somebody wrote here in the comments that Idina Menzel was the original witch on Broadway. And I'll say that somewhere in the middle of this movie, and I actually didn't say this in my review because I don't know, I forgot about it. There's about 5 minutes that I guess is a wink to the original Broadway production. They bring out Idina Menzel in the movie, and Kristen Chenoweth, or whatever his name. I probably am saying her name wrong. These are two kind of veteran Broadway ladies, and they do a song together. They don't play their original roles, but basically the original Glinda and the original witch on Broadway come and do a song in the movie. Let me tell you, beyond the fact that I don't like the movie, I will say this: the second you see those two on screen, they have so much more talent and screen presence, in my opinion. Like, more presence than Erivo and Grande on the spot. I'm like, okay, well, I don't like this movie, but objectively, those ladies are more talented than the people they chose for this movie.
Were you not tempted to stand up and start singing?
No, I wasn't at all. I was so annoyed. I don't remember being so annoyed in a movie as much as I was annoyed here. I'm now getting calm, because a few times people asked me on streams and they were saying that I was overreacting and maybe going off the rails, and I don't want to do that again. But I really, really
No, people
didn't.
like it when you go off the rails. It's good. It's good to watch or
So-
listen to.
Basically, there were ladies, I guess, in this. This was an early screening, and I guess it was a
Ladies.
bunch of ladies and me. And I'll be fair, they seemed to love what they were watching, but I was frustrated because I didn't know why they love it. They were giggling at certain parts, but no jokes were being told, and it wasn't funny. It was really annoying, but they were laughing, and I don't know what they were laughing at. And then they were singing, and the songs were terrible. The worst songs that I've ever heard in my life. It's like torture. And these women seem so happy. And why are they happy? Like the songs, don't they recognize that these songs are really sorry, I'm choking up.
see-
Don't they realize how awful these songs are? They're terrible. They're terrible songs.
I think songs and musicals are terrible. I'm not a musical kind of person. I don't really like musicals. This is not for me. I think it's fair to say that a lot of things are not made for me. Barbie was not made for me. I mean, it's easy for me to say it's shit,
It was awful.
but I think we can safely say Barbie wasn't made for any of the people here today, right?
Yeah.
I didn't play with Barbies when I was young. I hope
No.
none of you did.
No?
No, I didn't either. But what I'm saying is that Wizard of Oz, it's not true that it's ladies and gays only. That initially, little children were told this story and watched the original
Yeah,
1939
agreed.
movie.
Agreed, mate. Yeah, good point.
This one was hijacked, and it was hijacked over the course of about 20 years in a way that today people are like, well, it's always been for the ladies and gay people, but it's not true. Even the people telling me that, if they really search their memory banks, they'll remember that as kids, we all watched that movie together.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Did I tell you the story about when Keith went to see Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman? So Keith's part of BAFTA. And
Keith
he went to
from Home
Home Media
Field Media
Minefield, Home Media Minefield.
Keith, Keith, everybody.
Yeah. So basically, right, I probably got this story wrong, but he went to see Wonder Woman, and it was full of ladies. And at the end of the film, they went up on stage, and they were talking about how this is the first Wonder Woman, blah, blah, blah. And Keith stood up and said, no, it wasn't. It was Linda Carter. And they all looked at him. Everyone, even the audience, looked at him like he was a piece of crap. And he felt so uncomfortable in the audience. Keith asked more questions, some decent ones. But because they were so, I guess, women's lib, like that, the whole of that evening was about women's lib. They kind of looked at him like it was a piece of crap. And even when he was leaving, he felt that everybody was staring at him. I'm sure I've told the story wrong, but
Even
it's
though he
something
was
like
right.
that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that it depends if they're talking if it's a TV adaptation or a movie adaptation. If we're talking about a feature film, I think that they may have a point that it was.
I don't. Yeah, I can't remember what the question was, but it was.
But you're right. Technically, the first on-screen adaptation would have been Linda
Yeah.
Carter, who, by the
Yeah.
way, I thought looked phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Even as a young man, if they showed reruns of that Wonder Woman with Linda Carter, I always felt that she really was very convincing in that role.
Yeah.
Two good reasons,
I said I might have said the story wrong, but yeah, you get the gist of it, don't you? That he asked.
Well, we get it.
Like.
We get it.
Yeah.
Yes, and then she certainly was very. I just had a very kind of natural fun. She had natural likability. It's like the opposite of Cynthia Erivo. Like if there's a spectrum and Cynthia Erivo is on one place, Linda Carter was on the other side.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
I think I was too young to figure out what was going on
when she was running.
Yes,
slow mo.
Yeah, I'm sure Ian was of the correct age to realize what was going on.
No, I was a kid as well when I was watching Wonder Woman, or in my early teens. But yeah, I didn't understand what was going on with me. I just knew that I liked her, and I wanted to watch the show. That's yeah. So yeah,
weird. Right. I mean, even young men are very simple. You show them a woman, and even if they don't fully understand, they understand that the woman is very pleasant.
Yeah, when I first seen the original Charlie's Angels in the 1970s, so we're probably talking, I don't know, I'd have been like 5 or 6 or something, right? Cheryl Ladd. I love Cheryl Ladd, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why I
Oh,
was
you like
gagging for
lads?
Cheryl Ladd.
You like
Before,
lads?
before I knew why I was gagging for Cheryl Ladd, I was gagging for
You
Cheryl
were
Ladd.
gagging for lad. Moving on.
Do you know the first time I actually recognized something was going on, and it wasn't a TV show, it was Kate Bush Babushka. You ever see that video where she's
Yes.
dressed like a? When I saw that, I realized there was something definitely going on, and she started, you know,
What's this bulge?
yeah, exactly, and she looked so funny in that video, and I was sitting there going, "What the hell's going on?" So that was
mine
when I
was
first
the
realized. Yeah,
That's a very
Mine was the-
strange song. I mean,
it is.
over time, it kind of grows on you, but it's a very odd song, that Babushka thing. Kate Bush has always been kind of strange.
Mm.
Talented
But
though. Z?
she was hot in that video, though.
yeah. Well, for me, it was the lingerie section of the John England catalogue.
The Grattan catalogue.
Yeah,
She looked good in the
Empire
video.
Stores.
that's one.
Is that why they say close your eyes and think of England?
Oh yes.
Are there any does the panel actually like any musicals?
Look,
Because it's a bit of a love or hate, isn't it?
I don't
musicals?
like musicals, but there are a few musicals that I think are brilliant, right?
Yeah. same
I
here.
agree.
Little Shop of Horrors is fantastic. The Blues
Yeah.
It's not
Brothers
bad.
is
It's not
fantastic.
bad. Yeah.
What else is
What
there?
was the second one you said?
Blues Brothers.
Blues
Rock and
Brothers.
Horror.
Grease, I think, is a classic.
Grease is great. Yeah. My
I
first
hate
ever
Grease.
cinema
I hate it.
my first ever cinema experience. Very special. I love Grease.
And I like the original Wizard of Oz. I mean, I understand that the songs are like, cheesy or whatever,
Yeah.
but there's some very decent songs in that original movie. And it's one of the only kind of musicals that I actually can put up with because it's such classic songs. And this new one doesn't have those classic songs. They're not classic at all. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, just saying that, I don't like musicals in general, but there are a few that I do like, and those two are just a few of them. Again, right, Little Shop of Horrors, it's more than musical. It's got fantastic effects. It's got great performance. That scene with Steve Martin as the dentist just made me cry with laughter. It's so funny,
When Steve Martin was funny.
Yeah,
Was that in the original as well, or was it just in the remake?
It's not a remake. Talking
Yeah,
about
it's a
the
remake.
original.
No, there's two of them. There's one where Jack Nicholson, I think, was the doctor, and then
Yeah.
there's one where Steve Martin
Yeah.
is the doctor.
Yeah, so we're talking about the one with Frank Oz directed, which was
Yeah.
the one that I know.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, that's the
Moranis,
one
yeah.
that I think people refer to when it comes to
Yeah.
a musical. But
Yeah.
that's a good one. There are some movies that are good. People in the chat said Team America, which I love that movie. Even the South Park movie, the one that was a musical, I like that. I like when there's satire or when the songs are part of the story in a really
Yeah.
fun way. They stand out. They're unique. A lot of more often than not, musicals don't deliver that kind of experience. But here and there are some classics. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Producers.
Do you consider Disney songs, Disney cartoons, musicals?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
I guess so. I mean,
Jungle Book is awesome. I found, I like as a kid, I love Jungle
The
Book.
Lion King was pretty
Yeah,
good. I
Lion
think.
King's great.
See, the thing is, for me, like a musical, when I think about musicals, the ones that I grew up that were on the TV was like Doris Day and The Sound of Music, and it's like they were excruciating. Whereas
No, that's
the
annoying.
Jungle Book was my favorite cartoon for years. I can't have them in the same category in my head.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
Doris Day, by the way.
I think I can help you. The Sound of Music is one of those that people always want to say how great it is, but that one I really feel like most men, if you ask them, do you really love the songs and Sound of Music? I think most of them will say like, no, we don't like it. I think that one has always been more of a woman thing. I know that's a bad thing to say, but that one has been more of a woman thing. The Sound of Music.
Oh, I'm only in it for the Nazis.
I really would have loved to have seen the musical version of Star Wars that Ian had in his head.
Yeah, I would have
Were
too.
there Yahtzees in the producers?
Yes, they were.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Is it good?
There's Yahtzees in every Mel Brooks thing, isn't there?
I think it's
more or less.
kind of funny. The producers, yeah.
It is a very funny movie.
Sunshine on Leaf. My
What's that?
heart was broken. I think it's that thing that's based on the Proclaimers.
Oh, I see. I mean, yeah, again, right. I think
great film.
You know, the films are being hijacked. Why is everything so queer? That's the question I keep asking myself. It's
Swappers,
true.
that's
It's a
your
legitimate
forte.
question. It is a legitimate question.
It's
Yeah.
what do you call it? Fluoride in the water, man, and vaccinations. Microplastics.
They're putting something in the water to make the frogs gay. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what it might be. It might be like the hormones they give the cows to keep them producing milk, and then you're getting it in the beef, and you're going a bit funny.
Beef.
You're getting too much estrogen.
Really,
Yeah.
I'm putting it down to
No,
too
you,
much,
everybody else.
birth control in the water supply.
You reckon?
Yeah, you're microdosing on every poison on the planet. You know, whatever it is, you can blame it on it. You're taking it in your body one way or another.
Isn't that what Robert Kennedy's on about? Stuff like this.
And he's not wrong.
That's why we're in a mental health crisis, because there's so many tablets being pushed on the levy.
Not
Either
We
this
need
is
to
like
our
a-
swappers. Oh, swappers is here.
Hello,
Yeah.
Swapper. You're into stuff like this.
Yes,
I
I
don't
know.
understand how we got a conspiracy theory on the panel and no conspiracy theorist to talk about it.
That's a conspiracy.
We need to try harder, don't we?
We need to do better, Brown.
Either
thought
this is a one giant elongated mass extinction event, or it's going to strengthen the human race up to be resilient to absolutely all shades of gay 20,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Gay.
I
51
didn't like
shades.
I didn't like Jesus Christ Superstar. I thought it was really boring.
Haven't seen it.
It's
I thought it
terrible.
was really stupid.
Yeah, I just
There's
thought
a
it was
bit-
boring.
I remember
Go on.
I say my sister watched it. It's not the kind of thing I would watch, but my sister watched it on TV. This is back when it first came out, and there was a bit where I think it was Jesus or somebody, Jesus looking, getting chased over this hill by a tank. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this doesn't seem very realistic to me.
Whereas they were, yeah.
Well, look who it is. Long time no see. Velma Dinklage, wrenched.
Fantasia. I found it boring though.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you a boring story. I was a
All your
student.
stories are boring.
Well, most of them. This is more boring. I was a student. Or was
Were
I?
you?
No, I was still living where I was a student, but I wasn't a student anymore. I'd finished. And I think the VHS for Fantasia was being released. And it was a big deal back then. And we decided we were going to do a ton of mushrooms and watch Fantasia.
Oh, bloody hell. Go on then. Carry on.
We did a ton of mushrooms. We started watching Fantasia. We were bored shitless, so we went out raving.
What? Didn't do it for you, obviously.
Now,
I mean, the Disney films are mostly musicals. I mean, I remember loving Dumbo when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Dumbo's music was so much fun. You know, and again, right? Again, why is everything so queer and so? I don't understand. Well,
Probby hates that word, doesn't he?
I know he does, but the thing is, though, what else
And
can
he's
I
gay.
say?
He
I mean,
hates it.
I
He
could-
hates it.
I could use the word gay, but I was listening to a Christmas song today, and the word gay came up. Although the song was made in the 40s, so it kind of had a different meaning, I guess. So and the Flintstones got that word in the theme in the beginning, hasn't it? Have a gay old time. So
Well, it used to mean happy, so people
exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Christmas songs already.
Yeah, man. I listen to Christmas songs.
You
I
know,
love
the
Christmas.
Proclaimers, Pogues. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't say that word. You can't
Yeah, I
say it on
know.
here.
What, you
know.
can't say Pogues?
No, you can't say Pogues.
What
You can't
about,
say,
I would never say pogues. Never.
When you ever hear, so basically all the radio stations are going to be playing Christmas music as leading up to Christmas, and they always play when a child is born, and they always cut out the bit where it says black, white, nobody
Ray
knows.
of Hope.
So there's a line in it where it goes,
Yeah,
a child was born, black, white, nobody
pink,
knows. They always cut that out. of the song.
rainbow.
Why do
No,
they do that? Why do
nobody
they cut that out of the
knows.
song? It's ridiculous. Why would you do that?
Johnny Mathis.
Yeah. The world's gone crazy. The world's literally gone crazy now. I think I killed the screen.
Okay, good night,
Well,
everybody.
Good night.
Ian, well and
Wait till
truly
you
killed
hear
it.
Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, the way it's played on radio today.
Oh, God.
There's a whole section they removed because they use a word that starts with an F and ends with a T.
Oh, you mean
Fact.
Pokes?
Money for nothing, gonna chicks for free.
I
Jeffrey
guess.
says cultural appropriation is okay if done by a protected class. So, being happy no longer is allowed. Give me my back. Yes.
Look, one of my friends is Simon. He's on Type 40. And he was saying to me, everything was okay before all this crap started. It didn't matter whether you were gay or not.
Nope.
And the whole aspect
nobody
of
cared.
people on TV and on big screens, they were gay, and there was no big deal about it. We were just finding the balance, and then suddenly all this crap started happening, and it made things worse. That's what he told
It's
me.
the same with racial relations, and too, in my opinion. I feel like there was natural progress. A lot of sort of progress was just being made organically without people being lectured about it. It was just happening. And then suddenly somebody came and said, oh, every single thing you say, it's offensive. And now you can't make a living anymore or something like that.
It's stupid.
Virtuous slapping us over the head with it. Nobody cared.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had
live
that
and let
thing-
live, but bang.
the Denzel thing. The Denzel kiss was cut, right? And everybody got a bit hysterical over it. Some people probably went too far. But the question would be, why was it there in the first place? In the current climate, when they're pushing all that stuff on us, and everybody knows they're pushing it on us, why put it there except to start some controversy? Now, I remember violence, everybody. Back in the 1980s, there was a film with Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve, and they kissed in that film,
Yeah,
and
they
nobody
did.
cared. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit because it wasn't an issue. Now it's an issue. It looks like they're trying to push it on everything.
Romans used to
even
like everybody.
Even if it's meaningless,
Yeah.
it looks like it means something. And before anybody puts it in a film, they should think about that. What it's going to look like, regardless of whether it's innocent or not.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it could be that certain political parties felt that if they don't present that there's certain victims in a certain equation, they couldn't pretend to be helping those victims. And maybe that's why this kind of divide really suited their narrative. I'm just speculating here, but I think that in some cases it was something like that.
It's definitely been used to weaponize
you're right.
the word and to divide people. I know that for a fact, yeah.
We were
But it's
just getting
inclusive
there.
though, isn't it?
We were just getting there. What's that film with Robin Williams? And he was playing this gay couple, and they were pretending they were straight.
Oh, the Birdcage.
Their son. Yeah, the Birdcage, right? That was a huge hit, and it was hilarious. I saw it in the cinema, and it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And now, we were just getting there with being comfortable with everything. Things were balancing out. It was just balancing out. And then suddenly all this rubbish starts happening, and then it just puts it back into another pigeonholing people now. It's ridiculous.
It's going to get worse in the UK, although US of A, I think things are definitely going to start looking up. We've got another 4.5 years of this shite.
Did you see that post yesterday with the Moors murderers on it?
Oh, yes.
No.
You ever see anything so stupid? So you got the Moors murderers, right? Which is a Brady and Hindley, right?
Which
And
isn't good, folks.
somebody replaced Brady's face with Stammer. Okay.
And Reeves.
Oh, you saw this, yeah.
And one of the police forces in England tweeted it out and said, "If you retweet this, we're going to come and get you." But they retweeted it.
Not a real police force.
That was Stanford Police Force.
They're from Hot Fuzz, aren't they?
Yeah, Hot Fuzz.
All right, it's not real then.
No.
No, it's a fake account. It's a parody account. It's a very good one.
Yeah. If I'd have known it was fake, I probably wouldn't have retweeted.
Oh, you rebel.
Yeah.
I don't care. They can come and lock me up if they want. It's like no rent, no council tax, fed 3 times a day, a gym, a TV. Perfect. Come and lock me up. I'm good. Take me away.
Get regular
Anybody-
sex as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nobody can call me homophobic anymore.
Has anybody seen any good films lately then, whether on TV or in the cinema?
Price, have you seen anything recently?
I mean, I saw in the theater Gladiator 2, but I don't know if I could consider that a good movie. That's kind of a movie with issues.
Isn't it
Yeah.
essentially the same as the first movie?
It's the same, but it lacks the charisma that Russell Crowe brought to it. It lacks the freshness, and just the first one had a very simple story. And here, because they're trying to sort of replicate the first one and seemingly make some changes, the changes for me actually don't work. And at the end, it feels like an unnecessary movie that really didn't need to get made. And the only kind of saving grace I can give it is there are scenes that are sort of entertaining to look at to an extent, but overall as a movie, I didn't walk out thinking it was genuinely a good movie. It's not the worst way to just mindlessly spend a few hours in the theater, but it's not in the league of the original movie.
Were you entertained is the question, though.
Very mildly, very mildly.
See what you did there.
As I said, I was entertained, but I just was thankful of getting out of the house for 3 hours.
Was it 3 hours?
2.5 hours. I wasn't bored, though.
It's certainly. I wasn't bored. I wasn't bored. It's not like I thought, oh, it has to end every second. I wasn't bored, but I just thought to myself, the lead actor, not in the caliber of Russell Crowe, or not as good for this role as Russell Crowe was. I think Russell Crowe really was good.
Apparently, there's a 4-hour cut somewhere.
And I will say that Denzel Washington, although I'm not sure how historically accurate his casting would be, I'll at least give him that he's probably the best actor in this movie, and it's fun to watch his performance. The part for me, and I think I'm willing to say this, the part for me that really I have the biggest issue is really like the premise of the movie, in the sense that this isn't a spoiler because anybody that even looks at a commercial knows, but the main guy is Lucius. Now, Lucius was the son of Lucia, or whatever her name was in the original movie. And the whole idea there is that Russell Crowe, because of his actions defeating Commodus, whatever, the Joaquin Phoenix character, the wife, this Lucia and the kid, they're going to be safe. And she goes to him. She's like, Lucius is safe. And then he dies peacefully. And it's kind of like he wasn't able to save his own wife and son, but this is sort of a redemption that he managed to at least save them. And the movie ends, and I feel like it's very satisfying. In this movie, they do a flashback to that ending scene, and somehow they try to retcon an idea that he was actually the father of Lucius, but the lady never told him. Even when he was dying and asking about him, she wouldn't tell him that he saved his own son. I mean, like, that would be the place to give him the best send-off and tell him, listen, I have something to tell you. This kid that you just saved, he's your son. You're the best. And then he dies. But she wouldn't even do that, supposedly. She kept it a secret even from Russell Crowe, that this is from Maximus, that this is his son. And then in this movie, they do like a de-aging, whatever it is. Immediately following Russell Crowe's death, she puts her son on a horse and says, the horse has to take you somewhere into the abyss. Like, you have to disappear forever. I'll see you later. And then the kid is gone. And I don't understand any of it. None of it makes sense to me. It is so idiotic that I can't let it go. They're forcing a premise that didn't need to be there. And their explanation and retcon doesn't work for me.
Okay, I'm not going to see that then. I hear it's, I was at the cinema, was it last night, with a friend, and I had to go and see this film that she was in, but it's just a low budget film. And the cinema 2, it was Gladiator 2, and it was packed. So people seem to want to watch Gladiator 2.
If you're willing to accept the premise, if you're willing to just let it slide and be like, whatever, it doesn't make any sense, but let me enjoy this movie, you can do it. Yeah. And the final thing, Brown, and then I'll leave it alone. The fact that the movie starts and this Lucius guy who's now hiding and pretending to be somebody else, he is getting ready for battle. And he's kind of with his wife saying, like, you think he's going to say goodbye to his wife and go to battle. Suddenly his wife puts on armor as well, and they go to battle together in ancient Rome.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry, the wife is not going to go to battle in ancient Rome. There's nothing you can... It's not a matter of me being like an islamophobe. in that year, in that time, that wife is not putting on armor and going to the battlefield with him. It's just not happening.
Well, what about that film directed by Steve McQueen, the black Steve McQueen, not the dead Hollywood star?
Mm.
It was about Blitz, and it was a black kid and a black soldier. And I've been told, because I said that somebody
That's
said
on
something
Apple
like that
TV, isn't it?
yeah, on
Oh.
X. Somebody said it on X, and I was like, "What? Well, what's not accurate about it?" I can't remember who replied to me. And they said because they weren't black people around that time in that area.
You saw
So
that?
again, well, I
There
don't
was.
know. That's what he said. I don't know. So is it accurate to that?
Well, they
time?
missed a trick by calling it the Blitz and not Blackout.
Is it?
So
is
did
it
you
possible?
during World War II? Yeah, there was certainly
0
black
week.
people in London.
0 week.
certainly.
0 week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, somebody. I remember. I can't remember. I can look it up. But yeah, I don't know.
See, I will say I like this. Manuel Grell wrenched. Brune gave it V.V out of X. Very good.
It's a thinking man's joke.
It is. Very good. Well done.
Going all Latin on us because of Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was. So is he wrong about that time period or that area? I don't know.
Look, if it's London, which is where the Blitz mostly took place, right, during World War II, there were black people in London during World War II. Not as many as today, mind you, but yeah, there was black people there. There was if you go to during World War One, there was like whole regiments of Indians fighting in the trenches. They just don't show it in films.
But didn't so was it the 40s or the 60s when they opened the doors to
60s.
Jamaica and Trinidad? It was the 60s, wasn't it? So that was the swell of people of color that came into England.
Yeah, there was a big influx then, but I mean, they had
Yeah.
black people. I mean, they had black people in Wales working in the mines and things long before World War II.
Right.
When
So
you say,
I don't know then.
When you say black people, was that before or after they came out of the mines?
Wait, that Blitz movie is real? That's a real movie?
Swappers,
think
you're on
so,
fire
yeah.
this evening.
I thought it was like a parody poster done in AI.
No, it's real. Apparently,
Is that the one where it's like a World War II and there's like a black soldier and a black kid?
Yeah,
Yep.
that one. Yeah.
I thought that was
Windrush,
somebody.
everybody.
I kept thinking
Windrush.
it's a meme. I'm like, I must be not polished on my memes because I don't know what this meme is.
Yes, it was late 50s, early 60s. I think it was allow Britain to be built after World War II.
You know what? Right. What really puzzles me is if you're black and you're a black filmmaker, why do you keep insisting on making films with black people? It's not like Steven Spielberg decides to make films about Jewish people, or you know what I mean. It just
Or white
to me,
people.
it really annoys me. It really annoys me that black people can't make a film purely as an entertainment piece. Just an entertainment movie.
Spielberg made The Color Purple, by the way.
did,
and
yes.
he made different movies. Nobody said anything. Just today, if he made that movie, somebody would say it's important that not he makes it and somebody with a more black voice. I even believe that maybe at that time, a few people may have said it, and over the years, probably more and more have said that about him. But at the end of the day, he did a pretty good job with The Color Purple.
He did. Yeah, he did. It was very good, in fact. But I'm just confused over why. You know, it's either a bruv film or a historical film, or
he's made the two movies that he did make is like Schindler's List and maybe Munich or something like that. But I mean, that's from a filmography of 100 movies. He's made every single movie, every single group of people, anything you can think of, he's made a movie about. So I don't think it's like an exclusive thing. And I think that's the way it should be. And especially also fair to point out, those movies came later in his career. Meaning he started off with movies like Jaws, like Indiana Jones, only when he was established enough and he's like, this is a passion project of mine, and he did something. But he already built like a reputation and credibility with people, and then he made something a little more personal. A lot of these new filmmakers that you speak of, like the black ones or whatever,
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, they're like immediately, they're like, okay, here's a movie. Okay, immediately it has to be like the black identity. I have to make it immediately about that because I'm black, and that's what this movie has to be about. And then if they make one, then they don't leave it. Let's say you did Get Out if you're Jordan Peele. You could do other movies, but no, then you have to do more. Then it becomes like more of a social lecture.
The only person that didn't do that, well, one of the black directors that didn't do that was Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier obviously directed Stir Crazy, and he directed loads of different films, which wasn't peppered with people of color right across the board.
Well,
Had
he was the
few.
real deal. Back in
Yeah.
those days, you had to really be a talented, serious professional. You couldn't just be some kind of activist hack like what we're seeing these days.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Kaiser Soze. Right, I'm going to butcher this. Ita Ekpeon
Wow.
was the sole ARP in the Blitz a real person? There you go.
Wow. Who?
The
I'm guessing
character in
that's
that
their
film.
name.
Oh, Mega Geek.
Go ahead.
I thought something. Why
Yeah.
everybody's going gay? Right? Are you ready? Right,
Wow,
everybody,
you gay.
brace yourself. Right,
Uh-huh.
there's something in the water.
Is it fluoride?
Yeah. There's something in the water.
I just need to reset my mic, folks. So please talk amongst
Okay.
yourselves.
No, I'm just confused over it. That's all. I mean, I've never, because I'm a man of color, I've never had the impetus for making a film about the culture, of people
Because
of
you actually
color.
care about filmmaking. If all you can rely on is that, there's something about it that just feels like you're not worth your salt. You're not serious about your craft. If all you can do is just think of how you push some kind of propaganda.
It's all narcissistic virtue signaling, isn't it? That's the fundamental place where all this is coming from.
Yeah.
Is this everyone seems to be so narcissistic these days in Hollywood and general online social media. It's just based on it. So it doesn't surprise me that every other film is just saturated in narcissism as well at the same time.
Yeah, I think people should just make stuff that they feel they need to, or they feel they can do naturally. I'm assuming Jordan Peele, he does his things and that's what he feels naturally. But sometimes it does grate with me. It's like, what, another film that talks about black people's plight.
I think
another one.
the
It's
new
like another one and another one.
that new Captain America movie. What's it called? New World Order? Is it
African American?
That's the one. Yeah,
New World
it's
Order.
it's just been as you said earlier on, more reshoots. And I think I heard on a Dave Cullen video earlier on today something to do with it. Test audiences were saying how preachy it is. And they were trying to balance out the preachiness with more action scenes to try and make it not seem so preachy. But if like the action scenes aren't the preachy bits, then the rest of the film is going to be preachy.
Yeah.
You're going to walk in, preach, action scene, preach, action scene, end credits.
Did you see Paddington in Peru? Is in the States they rescheduled that movie same day, Valentine's Day, to go up against African American. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's not very good. It's not as good as the last two. I heard taking him out of England and putting him in. They call it, what is it? Paddington Jones and the Temple or whatever. They try to copy Indiana Jones when they put him in that situation.
Well, that might not be a terrible idea. He's from Peru, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Darkest Peru.
Yeah.
Here you go, folks. I can't speak. The Internet Help Desk, Wrenched World of Sport. Hello, my friend. 5th reshoot. 400 million spent so far.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's
God, I think it's got to do 1.2 billion just to break even.
How much? How much, Z?
How?
One.
Oh God, there we go.
0.2
Everybody run for the hills.
billion.
Silly boy.
400 million is nothing. Beyonce spends more than that on shoes.
Shall we talk about Drinkers film then? Has anybody seen it?
No, not yet. We got some super chats. You can hear me, yeah?
What? Come
I
on,
haven't actually seen it, to be honest. I wanted to see it,
Brown.
and I didn't get to it. I wanted to see it.
We'll
Brown
do it in a
seen
minute.
it, he's
I need
lying.
to. I need to reset my mic. But we've got a couple of
He's
super chats.
lying. He's
Okay.
seen it.
Monkey foot bacon armpit for £2, real money at the moment. Monkey lives matter. They do. All lives matter, but monkeys especially. Come on, people. Wrenched. £5 real money at the moment. As my old dad used to say, just tuck it under your waistband.
That's really painful when that happens.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Meg
Fish.
Mega
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Wrenched. €5. Favorite Stallone film? Why that?
Why that?
Favorite
Rocky.
Star Trek film? Why that?
Why that?
You talk amongst yourselves with that. I need to reset my mic.
Favorite Stallone film, Rocky. Favorite
Yep.
Star Trek film, Wrath of Khan.
Yep.
Really?
I feel like that's the only answer, really. I mean, I'll let you
is
guys
really.
answer now, but I
That's
feel like
what I've
that's the
got.
only answer.
I do. My favorite Stallone film is Rocky 3 because it was so over the top, and I enjoyed it. I've got to admit, I enjoyed it more than the first Rocky. But I do recognize the first Rocky is a far superior film than Rocky 3. But for enjoyment's sake, Rocky 3 was just fantastic as far as I was. I mean, I was
You
very
know what?
young
I
at the
find
time.
myself agreeing with you. There's something
Yeah.
so kind of over the top 80s. I don't know how to explain it about
Yeah.
that third one with Mr. T and
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. It's just they just went all in that
Yeah, they
movie,
did.
and maybe it's too much, but there's something excessive about it that's
It's a lot of fun.
fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And my favorite Star Trek film is Star Trek 3.
Great
Which I
film.
thought was brilliant. Yeah.
You like 3 more than 2?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
The third
I
one,
like-
the
Two's
Search
excellent.
for Spock. You like the Search for Spock more than the Wrath of Khan?
Yeah, and I can tell you
two's
the
excellent.
reason why I like the third one, because it literally did things that was totally unexpected. It had the joy of Star Trek, but it also had things that you never thought was going to happen in a million years, like destroying the Enterprise. And
Traumatic.
it was, for me, it was traumatic when I watched that, and the
Yeah.
performances was so solid, and the fun of the actual film itself was so up there. And the ending, almost I shed a tear when he said, "Jim, your name is Jim," and I thought, "Fuck me, what a great movie!"
It's
I
good.
just
It's a
loved
good.
it.
It's a good movie, but great movie. But I still think that Wrath of Khan.
You need to rewatch it, mate.
No, it's okay. He's entitled to his opinion. I understand
He's
why
wrong.
people. Well, no, I understand why people like the Wrath of Khan, and there's a lot to like about the Wrath of Khan.
It's a great
Definitely.
movie. It's a
But I
fantastic movie.
think Star Trek 3 was the braver of the two films. It was
It's
very
possible,
brave for
but
what it
for
did.
me, I think that
Well-
the 3 is after 2. Like I would put the first one as 2, like my number 1 spot 2, then maybe 3.
No, you're wrong, mate.
That's all right. I mean, it's his opinion, and I hear him, and I kind of
No, he's wrong, though.
I like 6 better. 6 is the best. You're all
You
wrong.
hate
right,
it, though.
No, 6 is great. Absolutely, 6 is
The
fantastic.
Undiscovered Country.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all right,
really
I
good.
guess. Yeah, it's better than 5.
Anything's 75.
What does God need with a starship?
Well,
Yeah.
what does he need?
Michael Burnham is almost better than 5. Almost.
Did we all answer the Stallone?
Yeah, I did.
Stallone.
Yeah.
First
we did.
Blood. First
Oh,
Blood is my
it's a
favorite
great
Stallone
movie.
film.
It's a
First
great
Blood is
movie.
good. Yeah.
It's a great
What about
movie.
you, Matt? What's your favorite Stallone?
I
film?
always had a soft spot for Cobra.
Oh my God.
Cobra is kind of
Jesus.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. I love the car in that film, though. But I loved how just out and out 80s cheese it is.
Yeah.
We just don't get anything like that anymore. It's just so uncompromising, and the
Demolition
machismo
Man's good.
and everything. Yeah, it is fantastic. Actually, yeah, you're right.
What's the line
Um,
he says in that film, Matt? There's a
What, in
famous
Cobra?
line in there. Yeah. Something about "I'm the cure" or something like that.
If
Crime is
crime is
the
the
disease.
Crime
disease,
is the-
Cobra is the cure.
Yeah, that's it. That was good. Yeah, I love that. But that was like early. We're talking early kind of action movies here, of the big budget kind of action movies. So it's been bettered and a lot since then. And obviously, it's extremely corny when you go back and watch it now. But I'll never lose that buzz after I watched it. And I just thought, man, I've got to watch more of this guy's movies. They're great. But a lot of his old movies are really good as well, like Fist and Nighthawks. So
Fist, yeah.
Oh, Nighthawks
Nighthawks
is
is
a great
movie.
movie.
yeah,
Nighthawks was shot.
Pretty good.
Yeah, some of it was shot near where I live when they blew up the department store. That department store has been there for years where I live. Yeah. Also, did you realize that Cobra was basically Beverly Hills Cop? So he got
Yeah.
offered Beverly Hills Cop, and he rewrote the script,
yes,
and they said
yeah, you're
no,
right, yeah.
and he took whatever he rewrote and made Cobra with it. So there you
That
go.
was it. I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
He would have ruined Beverly
True.
Hills Cop because he's not really got a sense of humor, does he?
Yeah, no, he wasn't right for that one.
But I think Cobra was the beginning of the end for him because his ego took control there, and it just kind of. I think it was a terrible film, and he had just married that high-end hooker that he was married to for a while.
Bridget Nielsen.
Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah.
What about Tango and Cash?
I love that film.
I like
Tango
that
and Cash
movie.
is
Yeah, it's good.
So corny. It's so good.
I like the bits with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Actually, it's a really good movie.
Even
they don't
Terry
make
Hatcher
movies
is
like
pretty
that.
good in that one, even though she
God.
doesn't look like she would be Stallone's sister due to the age difference.
I think she's taller than him.
That too. But she probably looks the best. That's like the best she's ever looked.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah,
no, I'm
agree.
just saying that they don't make movies like that because they hate males that are true. I don't know how to describe it. True men. True men. Yeah, they hate it, don't they? You like again, right? They try to be subtle about it, but again, I would say our heroes are being taken apart, aren't they? Look at the Batman; he didn't even catch the villain at the ending. That seems to be a trend going around.
Part of the reason why I liked Gladiator 2, even though it's far from perfect, at least it was a manly film.
Right.
Yeah.
But Denzel kissed the guy, and though you didn't see it in the film, you know he did it. You know what he was thinking. Anytime you see him talking, you know he was thinking about kissing guys, right? You know that.
Percy out of Blackadder. Okay, so
what's wrong with Drinker's movie?
What's wrong with Drinker's movie then? Okay,
so, take it away, Melvin.
Who's seen it? Who's seen
I have.
Rogue
I haven't
Elements?
seen it. I'm very curious to see it, and I haven't seen it. I admit it.
Who in the chat has seen it? I know a few of you have. I've seen it.
Yeah. Well,
take it away, Brown.
Take it away, Melvin. Over to you, mate.
You said earlier, Brown, you hadn't seen it, but you were actually in the chat while I was watching it.
No,
so I know you did.
No, I was watching it live premiere.
I'll tell you what I think is wrong with it, right? I won't tell you what I think is wrong with it. I will tell you what I've got to take the kind of long road here, just so you know where I'm coming from, right? It's what I said to you before we started, that if your job is to review restaurants and you're very harsh with your reviews of restaurants, and then you open your own restaurant, it better be a fucking good restaurant, right? It better be the best. It better be the best restaurant in the world. And for a kind of indie film, it's all right, nothing wrong with it. But if your job is shitting on other people's films, it needed to be better. It needed to be a lot better.
It needed to be Michelin star quality.
But what I think that it's like the middle section of a story. It's not a complete story. It didn't really have a start and it didn't really have an end. It just had a middle. So if you didn't know the character or whatever, then you're like, okay, so this is a bit from a longer film. This is like a cutout section from a normal length film. That's what it felt like to me.
Maybe maybe it's intended to be like a business card where it shows what you could do. Because even though 300,000 or whatever you said
it is a pilot. The extra money enabled him to make it into a pilot episode.
Right, and sometimes when you have that kind of budget, it sounds like a lot, but if you're really putting a crew together in our day and age and trying to make an action movie or pilot or whatever it is, it's not easy to do. I mean, it's not easy to it's one thing if you have $10 million or $5 million or even $2 million or $1 million, but 300,000, it's really ambitious. I think that he was able to put together something. I hope, if this is his intention, that maybe this will be able to get him bigger budgets and maybe do something, take it to another level, possibly. Just making sense. I haven't seen it. I'm speculating.
Yeah, I don't mean to shit on it. I'm just saying that under the circumstances, it needed to be better. But also, it needed to be. It didn't seem like a standalone story to me. It was just like a part of a story. It's like here they are, right in the middle of the action already, and then they finish, but it's not finished when it finishes. There's still baddies alive. And it's like, oh, hang on a minute. This is just like a part of a story. And I get it. He didn't direct it, so none of that's his fault really. And I don't know how much of the writing he did for the actual script. I know he wrote the story, but I don't know if he wrote the script. That I don't know. But I think under the circumstances, because it's from the critical drinker, it needed to be better than it is. It needed to be beyond criticism.
I respect that. I respect that. I'll give you an example. There's that movie Whiplash. Before that movie was made, it was a young filmmaker that actually couldn't get a lot of money. He managed to get like a minimum investment where somebody gave him to put together a sample of what the movie would be. And maybe he did like a 30-minute version of that movie, much more low key. And then after he successfully kind of presented that, he was able to get a budget of maybe $1.5 million or $2 million, which he still phenomenally made Whiplash the movie for a really low amount of money. But it's still a difference if you have 50,000 or 100,000 or a few $100,000, or if you have a few $1 million. And sometimes you just got to get your idea out there. I agree with you that maybe just because it's a person that's so scrutinizes movies and really in a very detailed way, then you're sort of expecting whatever output he has will be the best, but he also doesn't have the type of budgets of the movies that he's criticizing. I would think it's at least worth pointing that out.
I would move there too. I will bring in my esteemed friend, the Mega Geek, who is a guy who makes things with small budgets. Mega Geek, what could you give us for 300,000 quid?
Okay, let's go back to was it Whiplash? So Whiplash, there's always a story behind the story, I find, when it comes to things like this. The question is, how did he get Jonathan J. Jameson in his film? Because everybody knows that you can't get an established actor like that. And at the time he was established, you have to have contacts with the agents because there's like these barriers that you can't go through if you're a nobody. So the question is, how did he get, what's his name, J.K. Simmons in his short?
Yes.
And so J.K. Simmons is the one that actually was the hook with everybody that they watched it because of him. And because the short was good, that was even better. And then obviously he found the money and they made the feature film out of it, and the feature film got praised. So, nothing is ever what it seems. Do you know what I mean? It's like, again, right, everybody thinks Bruce Lee was poor, and then they shoved him in America, and then he became this powerhouse of a martial artist and whatever. But what's true about that was Bruce Lee's family was quite wealthy. So there's always stories behind stories, right? So we can't really go on the Whiplash thing, right? But going back to the Drinkers one, they did well with it. But I think it came across as a low budget, straight to DVD action 1980s movie, a kind of like Jack Reacher, but on a small budget. The problem I had with it was, and I kind of agree with Melvin, it wasn't great. It wasn't, because like if you criticize stuff, yeah, you're expecting it to be so much better. And if you wrote the screenplay, he would have made, I don't know if he wrote the screenplay, but there was a lot of cliches in there. Did he?
Yes. Cliches.
Yeah, there's loads of cliches in there, and he always criticizes cliches when he reviews films. So I was quite surprised with that. Right, the casting wise, it was awful because the main guy they got to play, what's his name again? Drake. What's his name?
Ryan
Drake. Main guy. Ryan Drake. He was awful. I didn't think his performance matched what he was supposed to be. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
And the Russian woman. Again, right, I know people criticize me for this, but I still think good-looking people are the people that you kind of gravitate to, especially if you don't know them and you first see them. That's just nature. So I would have cast someone better looking to play the Russian woman. And again, right, it's like they just shot in one area, which to save money, that's probably what they did, because I know about low-budget stuff. It was okay. It just wasn't overwhelming, which I was expecting it to be. The action was okay for the amount of money, but hand on heart, I can literally tell you that if I had 300,000, it would have been 10 times better than that. And also, they should have cast someone that was like a TV face.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, because you're trying to sell it, and you need a face.
Yeah, so you have that Russian guy at the end, and that could have been a face. That could have been a TV face.
Well, actually, I recognize him.
Who is he?
That's an actor. He's called Patrick Gallagher. I've seen him in a few things.
But he's not famous. He's not someone from Mad Men.
I think the main baddie has been on TV. He was a proper star.
Yeah, but he needs to be someone that the
lead
knows.
The lead wasn't.
Yeah, like someone from Ali McBeal or something. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's kind of got that cachet. and
Yeah.
just give him a small part, and you'll get more attention on that. Just
Hang-
like when
hang
they
on
did
a
with
minute.
Ray K. Simmons.
How did you get Ally McBeal
I
Spies?
just
And
well, I just came on top of my head. Sorry, mate. Just came on the top of my head. TV shows. But yeah, I mean, that's the example, isn't it? J.K. Simmons in that film. That was one of the reasons why people watched it, because he was in a short film. So that's what I'm saying. I think they did a lot of things wrong. The photography was okay in it. Again, the amount of money that they had, it should have been 10 times better than what it was. They should never shot it in Vancouver. They should never had Russians in it. I don't know if he had Russians in the book. It should have been, I don't know. It just should have been, I'll stop there. It should have been better, in my
No,
opinion.
keep
But
going. Keep going.
it was okay. It was okay, and it was enjoyable to a point. So that's my review of it.
Somebody wrote that I should have been the star of it. I actually think I probably shouldn't shouldn't have been the star of this movie. Just to be fair.
I hope I didn't come across as very negative on there. And I hope the drinking doesn't take it out on me.
No, well, listen.
But,
you make films, and you're entitled to your opinion. I still have to see it, but the only thing I'll say is that in our day and age, when you're trying to do some kind of action movie, even though $300,000 sounds like a tremendous amount of money, still putting that together, bringing actors, bringing a crew together. I understand that perhaps you, Mega Geek, you have a run and gun style that maybe you're able to do this for cheaper than 300,000, and maybe you could have produced a better result with the experience that you've already gathered over the years. But maybe in the situation that he was in, this was a first step.
No, he didn't. He wasn't responsible for production. Ian just said he wrote the screenplay, and again, that was the problem. That was one of the problems, because there was a lot of cliches in there that I thought he would. Yeah, but he wasn't responsible for the production, so you can't really blame that on him.
It could be that maybe I assume that a guy like him watches this thing that he made, takes notes for himself, and a lot of times you then try another thing, and hopefully the next thing you do, you fix a lot of things that maybe you don't feel that you did 100% the first time around.
Yeah.
I think that, I guess what I'm trying to say is, and this is just me being positive for a change, because I like the fact that a person that's outside the Hollywood system said, hey, you know what? I gathered this money and I want to do something. And sometimes even just saying that and doing something is an important first step. The first time Tarantino wanted to make a movie, he made some kind of movie that I think until today he never finished that movie. There's scraps and bits and pieces of it. He worked on it for maybe 2 years. He kept filming and filming and filming. And I think that without doing that initial filming, he probably wouldn't have made all those other films that he did later. Sometimes you got to do a product at the beginning just to put something out there. And I'm hoping that other things in the future will continue to improve.
Well, he's got the fans behind him, and you never know. I think he's a producer from 24 helped him produce it or something like that.
Yeah,
I
John
don't know.
Casser.
Yeah, so it's got a good chance of, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual product that he delivered, whoever delivered it, and it didn't, for me, it didn't work. I mean, you look at that guy that plays Drake, right? He looks like he looks like a couple of doors down my next door neighbor. He doesn't look like someone that's been in a war situation. He doesn't look like someone that's hardened. I mean, if you look at the guy who played Jack Reacher, right? He looks like someone that's been hardened. He looks like he's been in a couple of fights and stuff like that. So the casting was completely wrong for that character, in my opinion. And the same thing with the Russian girl. And the only person I thought that was good casting was the girl that had a fight with that guy and took him on, because she was 6 foot and she was like 3 foot, but yet she still beat him. But yeah, I mean, I thought she was okay, and the Russian guy was okay, but that was about it, really.
I think had they had like a more charismatic and better looking leading man, because I didn't think a lot of the leading man, and maybe if the Russian girl was better looking, for me, because I'm shallow and superficial, a good looking female is going to sell it to me every time. It made all the difference.
Not only you, but a lot of people think that way.
Most people think that way. Yeah.
The hooded man wrenched. But why should we hold back because Drinker is involved? If it's not good, it's not good.
No, but I'm saying it's not bad for the effort. But again, right, if you have 300,000? You have
$300,000.
If you had $300,000, you could have
Pounds, not dollars. Pounds.
You could have done 10 times better
Was it?
than what they delivered. You could, if you knew what you were doing, and it's obvious that they didn't have the experience. I mean, they're all seasoned people that actually made it and stuff like that, and they'd stunned people and stuff. But I think a lack of imagination was missing from it, in my opinion, because everything they did we've seen before.
They had one
John
of the producers
Kasar is the
from
real deal, though.
24.
He was involved in it, and it didn't look good.
Who? What? Sorry,
John Cassar. I think he came on board later, pretty much after it had been shot. They were trying to use him to get him to float it around. Melvin,
there's nothing wrong with the photography. The photography is good. The performances are up and down. I just have a problem with the main guy.
What did you think of his accent? Because that was all over the place.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was a bit grating. Yeah, but I've got to be honest. Again, right? I'm not taking anything. Anyone that makes something right with very little money, I just take my hat off to them. I think it's fair play, you've got to say, that's you don't have to
all said and done. It's a first effort as well. It can only get better, right? Well, I'll be fair. I think I've been fair with the criticism. I think.
Here you go, folks. Ashen Prism, hello, my friend. It currently has 6.6 on Internet Movie Days. It should be 5.5, but no.
But again, right? When Rebecca Gull comes out, there's probably going to be people that probably don't like it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to suffer the brunt as well.
Here you go.
But I don't. It's fine.
Here you go, Ian.
Flav, it's a lot of money.
Wrenched, World of Sport. 5,212 backers.
Yeah, I saw it at the end.
303. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see all the names at the ending. It was like loads and loads of names. And I think I only got like 30. No, not even 30. I think 15 people that contributed to Rebecca Gull. But again, right, it was a good effort. And again, I hope they have a success with it, but there's no way if a network took this on, there's no way they would take on the majority of those actors. They're probably casted with TV.
They don't need to. Even in Whiplash, they replaced some people. Not J.K. Simmons.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Drinker should have tried to sell this to a company like ITV or.
ITV wouldn't take it on.
No,
because they're steeped in the woke stuff, and same thing with Channel 4 and BBC. So they're not looking for something like that. Even though Sky's made SAS, there's a new show called SAS. They've made that, and that looks pretty good, I guess.
Oh, my God, a trans woman. No, problem solved.
Do you think Chattel will do a video on it? I think he will.
I don't know.
Would he? Because he does videos on. Would he have given it a green light?
Is he?
Don't take my word for it. Watch it. You might, anyone that hasn't watched it, you guys might really like it.
Is it going to be interesting to see how all the big YouTubers react to it?
Well, they haven't. They've been silent so far.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Gary said, at least the action was good. I remember when he was talking about it, he spoke for it for a little time. He goes, yeah, I saw the Drinkers film at Comic-Con or some Comic-Con he went to, and he goes, yeah, the action's good. And that's where he stopped, and that's that. So...
Are they going to blow smoke up Drinker's ass?
No, look, you know what?
Some will.
Yeah, again, it's a good effort, but as a filmmaker, I could see there's loads of mistakes they made, and it could have been better. But it is what it is at the end of the day, right? That's that.
Feltz 5 wrenched. Drinker should have put a chicken in it. I think Felt 5 has won the internet today. Well done, mate.
In the comments, there were a lot of people that didn't like it. I was reading some of the comments.
They were laying into it.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of assholes just showed up just for that.
Exactly.
And on this premiere as well, they're absolutely laying into him.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It was just they needed more thought on it, if you know what I mean.
Can I shout some abuse at somebody?
Go on.
Going to.
You know that channel, the one that hates Gary and hates Drinker, the Rip-Off Verse?
Oh yeah, well
yeah.
done, Brian.
Yeah. Not Brian blocked him in the chat the other night. So fuck you, rip-off verse, you twat.
Yeah, Riley, you dumb fuck.
Again, it's a good effort, but you know, I think they could have done better. If look, I hate to say it, right? If they gave it to me, I would have done 10 times better. Seriously, I probably wouldn't have taken a penny either to direct it, because I think
Told him.
the challenge of doing something like that is more than enough. And if they were shooting in Vancouver, pay for my flight, put me up in a hotel, direct it for free. Do you know what I mean? It's just a challenge.
I knew you would have probably volunteered to do it for free.
Yeah.
I tell you what, right? See if you're paying for the hotel and the flights. There's a lot of things I'll do for free.
Franco Walker wrenched and Mr. Brown Smith. Mega will get backlash from changing the actress.
Yeah, well, I already have that. So I had a backlash from someone that when I did the first season, someone that said to me, "Oh, I really loved it," and then they said, "Is Katie gay?" And I was like, "No." And then they literally ripped into me. How dare you cast someone that's not gay? Blah 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 blah. And I blocked.
Here you go, folks. I've been burgled, which is never nice. Wrenched, wool of spot. We need a Mega Geek drinker collab.
I've been on me and Bolstrek was on talking about Star Trek 3. So I have been on.
I think he means like a production.
Oh well,
we tried. We tried.
I did. He emailed me, and I did email him back because he asked. He said something like, have you got any advice for me? Because I'm going to start this film. And I said, it's hard to give advice if I don't know what's going on. So if you want to do a FaceTime thing with me, or if you just want to email me and tell me what's going on, I could advise. And then I heard nothing back from him, and that was that. So, obviously went with the whoever
Travis
Canadians, I think. Yeah.
If he would have reached out to me, I would have bought him a whiskey.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
If he'd have reached out for me, I'd have paid for the hotels.
Ego, not Brian wrenched. Understandable.
Yeah, I mean, again, right. I don't want to come across as an arse. I was very honest with my opinion. Same thing with Melv, and I guess Ian. We're not. I guess we're having a go slightly.
Has any of my mods got the link for Rogue Elements? Please, could you pop it in the doodah, please?
I'll get 50p.
Now I have to watch it. Now I have to watch it.
50p says Franco's first.
The thing about all these people that actually gave money and the people that liked it on the post, it's like going to Comic-Con and there's loads of fans clapping seals going because they're so much into whatever they're into. It's like all those fans are into the shooty Doctor Who and they're all clapping or whatever. But when it comes to the ratings, it's not there. So you can have people that like your stuff, but when it actually boils down, will they watch it?
I'll say fair play to the bloke that his initial expectations were 20,000 for the and fair play fair play to the bloke. People enabled him to pretty much do his dream, so fair play. Yeah.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember that 90s TV series? It's a British TV series. You might not have got
I think this is the link for the Rogue Elements, folks. Cheers, Sword.
Sorry, go ahead, Melvin.
Go on, Melvin. Sorry.
Bugs. Remember Bugs?
Oh, yeah, remember Bugs.
Yeah.
That was
Craig McLachlan.
Yeah, co-Australian, co-BBC production, that was.
Yeah. It reminded me a bit of that. Like, it reminded me of 90s TV, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's laughing. Who's that then? Or did somebody cough?
I coughed.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't laughing. Nobody said anything funny yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Shall we move on to something else before I get into
Move along.
Okay, I have a small presentation if you fancy it.
Go for it.
Do we want a small presentation, folks? I think we do. Let me get some slides up then.
Dick pics over the years.
TBA 54, and I said 55, 54, folks. 54. We are pushing for 5k subs. It still keeps going down. It's
That's
just
because what we speak.
Come on,
people
you gotta
hate
sub
me.
then.
People hate
It'll
us.
come back up when we start Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
No, if every one of the people in the chat right now go and make like 100 more accounts, and so that's all it'll take. Just 100 accounts each. That's all. It's not much
I
to
will
ask.
also say, folks, if you watch any of the streams or take part of anything, just please afterwards press the thumbs up and just leave a comment. Thumbs up and just leave a comment, even if it's just a few characters. The algorithm will recognize it. It's
I'm gonna put Brown on a spot here. Brown promises that he will respond to every one of your comments and give one of them little love hearts.
most of them I do.
He promises.
Only if it's
promises.
positive. If it's positive. If it's positive. Yeah. If it's positive. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. Donate to the channel. Few of you have. Okay.
Is that the presentation? Because I've seen better.
It needs a bit of work.
The leading man, that's what would have done.
Isn't
You
that
go-
there due to a touch of grass incident?
Yeah.
And on. Are your subscribers getting arrested for hate crimes? Probably. I'll be next to be a. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I still haven't seen this season of Cobra Kai yet either.
Mm.
Okay. Channel memberships available
When's it out? The second half? Or the third,
The-
whatever it is.
next year, isn't it? February, March. I don't know, sometime next year. Denis Villeneuve says he has no interest in directing a Star Wars film because he believes the franchise derailed with. I thought this was The Last Jedi, but then I did a double take. Return of the Jedi. Star Wars became crystallized in its own mythology, very dogmatic. It seemed like a recipe. No more surprises. Swappers?
Well, everyone's entitled to their own opinion of favorite Star Wars movie, but Return of the Jedi happens to be mine, so I'll have to completely discount anything he says regarding that film. But of course, the film's caught up in its own mythology. That's the kind of the whole point, really. It's like Dune. You know, you don't say I'm not going to direct a Dune film because there's this huge amount of lore and age-old story and all these books that have already been established before it. That's a bit of an idiotic quote, to be honest.
If he would have said that outside the original trilogy he didn't like the level of Star Wars, I could have maybe understood him, because the prequels aren't as good as the original trilogy. But the fact that he somehow has a bone to pick with Return of the Jedi is kind of strange. It's not as good as as Empire Strikes Back for me, but I think that the way the story unfolds with the Emperor and Luke and Vader, it's hard not to feel that is a very satisfying conclusion to that story.
Listen, guys. Denis Villeneuve is talking shit.
Yep.
Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Right. I mean, basically,
expand.
Well, basically, right. The trilogy is the best, and also, have you not noticed that he's picking on the original? He's not picking on the Disney.
Yeah, I had to double take that. I had to double take
that. There's something going on here, right?
Yeah.
So he can kiss my ass, and I hope he leans back into that sand, and the sand swallows him up and takes him somewhere else, because he's talking shit, and obviously he's complying to something out in Hollywood. So he can get more money, so he can kiss my bum. Sorry,
he's not directly putting Disney down there, is he?
Absolutely not.
No, there's also something else important. He made Blade Runner 2049, and that was kind of a snooze. Yeah, it was a snooze.
Yeah.
I don't know why Hollywood
really didn't like that film. People say that film's great. I think it was awful.
Overrated. It was a snooze.
No, you're wrong.
Don't care if you liked it. It was
all of you.
Shit.
I'm right. All of you are wrong.
You know something? Boring. Did you notice, right, that with Blade Runner and also with Dune, it made the leading man a kind of effeminate fop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, it's obvious that he's leaning towards them I'm not even going to
Is he
mention.
touting for work?
No, look, he's
sorry.
talking shit. Let's move
Yes.
on, shall we? We all know he's talking rubbish.
No, we can't move on because we'll run out of slides.
Is that the only slide?
That's our slideshow.
To be
Run out of
honest, he's
slide.
probably best kept well away from the Star Wars franchise as it stands at the moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would you really want that sullying your name?
Well,
Oof,
if they
no
were
way.
making silent Star Wars, he might be the man. See what did they?
Listen, he's talking rubbish. He really is, and it's some kind of agenda he's applying to. So leave him be. Let him do his thing. We know he's talking rubbish. Look, Return of the Jedi isn't my favorite, but it is a very entertaining film, and it is creating its own mythology because that's what it's there for. And as Price of Reason said, it was great with the father and son thing. That was the heart of the film.
Mhm.
You know, there you go.
Not the toys.
I
The
don't.
toy merchandising Return of the
No,
Jedi.
Brown. Don't mention the toys because his brother sat on his. Don't say it.
Yeah, no, that was the Enterprise. He sat on the Enterprise, but no, look, right. Return of the Jedi is a decent enough film, and the achievement of the special effects was absolutely amazing. What they did in those days,
Yep.
visual effects wise, was just incredible. Yeah, so there you go.
Agreed.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Cheers. The opening of Return of the Jedi, the part on Tatooine, aside from the bit where Boba Fett thought he was in a Marx Brothers film, aside from that might be the best opening of any of the films.
Harrison Ford being a complete wanker.
Yeah. No, but look, the only thing that spoils it for me is the teddy bears. That's the only thing that spoiled it for me.
The toy range.
Well, the rest of the film works for me. I love the scene between the Emperor, Darth Vader, and Luke. I thought it was really well done. Performances was there. You know, the whole thing about, the sister thing and all that, and, turning to the dark side. It was all there. There's nothing. What can I say?
Do you know what I thought was silly, right? See in Empire Strikes Back when Vader is fighting Luke and he's trying to get him to turn to the dark side.
Yeah.
Cutting his hand off wasn't the way to do it, right? It's like, I cut your hand off. You're going to be on my side now, okay? Well, no, you just cut my fucking hand off. It's stupid. But in Return of the Jedi, Vader turned him back to protect his son from the evil asshole. That was perfect.
But also, it was good because when he cut Darth Vader's hand off, and then he looks at his own, doesn't he? And he realized he was slowly turning to the dark side. And that was a good connection between.
I was going to say this, but I was being polite. Not Brian Wrench is wank hand too. Yeah. Will it feel like somebody else doing it after that?
But and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Those effects for its time was how did they do that when they were traveling through the what is it?
Incredible. The reactor core.
Yeah, the reactor thing. How did they do that? I mean, what did they do? How did they do that? Did they have sets that separate themselves so the camera can go through it? I literally don't know how they did that.
That's what made those movies was the audience sitting there, not only being amazed by the spectacle, but also thinking, I don't know how they did that. And that's always
never seen
when you ask that question.
Amazing.
Yeah. And also, right, because they had to do it with models, they did shots where you can literally see the beauty of the way ships flew and what was happening and lasers missing them. When you look at the new ones, like when JJ took over, because it was CGI, you couldn't really see. It was just moving too fast.
The camera can go everywhere as well.
Everywhere, and it's like, no.
Okay.
I don't know.
Shall we? It's a Star Wars theme.
Oh, no.
Dave in Trust Filoni is reportedly working on a new #War of Stars project that will start filming in late.
Everyone's working on a Star Wars project.
It will serve as a new spin-off for the universe.
Haven't they just cancelled a movie and now they're announcing another one?
Yeah, it's all rubbish, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
I've got a serious question. Right?
Get up, Bella, and off her.
What's the question, Melvin?
Do you think Dave Filoni is a clone of Danny DeVito.
Maybe.
Look at him. Look at him. It's like young Danny DeVito with a cowboy hat.
Taller Danny DeVito.
He's got big
Hack.
shoes. He's got big shoes.
Mm.
Not Brian Wrenched. Lord Lucan is working on a new Star Wars.
Yeah, we're
project.
never going to see that either.
Does Dave wear assless chaps?
Do you know what? Seriously, Star Wars is dead. You know, and a lot of people are going on about Andor season 2 is coming. Sorry,
Oh,
it's dead. It's dead.
No,
don't-
Disney Wars is dead. You can't kill the originals.
Yeah.
I don't think it's dead. I think it's temporarily fucked
it's resting.
until Disney's gone. I
Is
think
it
you can just
resting?
all the Disney stuff you can throw in the bin and forget about it and
Yeah.
continue
Oh, yeah.
and it'll be alive again. But what Disney are making is just shit, and that's it.
Mm.
3
polite
years
as I can
away.
be.
We're 2.5 years away from the anniversary. Is it 2.5 years?
The anniversary of what though?
What
Star
year are we in
Wars.
now?
Yeah, but
it's
the thing
that-
is
yeah.
that when they have the anniversary of Star Wars, they're going to include all that shit that Disney made. So what's the point
Yeah.
of even celebrating it?
Yeah.
All roads lead to Jake Skywalker.
That's right. So,
Can't unsee it.
Yeah. Yep.
How
sci-fi
depressing.
day. Yes.
Sorry, folks. I think Star Wars killed it, everybody. Sorry.
Have you got any more slides, or is this the last one?
I bet it's Star Wars, isn't it?
I mean,
He
yeah.
wanted to end it in an uplifting way.
Another Star
Oh,
Wars.
yeah, merch. Who saw this? Rosario Dawson checking out her latest figure created by the artists.
Hot toys.
Arts.
You
Hot
know, I
Toys
like Rosario
official.
Dawson. She's done nothing wrong. I like Rosario Dawson. I don't even mind the Ahsoka character the way she was in the Clone Wars. This series was shit, but I have nothing against Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I like her. She's lovely.
Is this
Well-
is this one of the action figures that were going for about $3 at the discount stores in the
Ollie's.
States?
Oh, I
Yeah.
think this is a Hot Toys edition. Yeah,
Very
Hot Toys
expensive.
official.
one.
Mm.
I was just thinking the other day about when she was in
Vegan.
Mandalorian, when she was cast as the live action version of Ahsoka. I really did think that maybe they should have hired somebody that was better at martial arts because she's very rigid in what she does.
Well,
and then when
she's
she was
in
in
her
her own show,
40s.
she can really run. So
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
the actress that actually played a young Ahsoka, who was considered athletic, I thought she was much better.
yeah,
In the flashback scene with Anakin, there was a scene with like a young Ahsoka, and that one was much that she at least moved like Ahsoka.
But you know what, right? It's so obvious that she
I
is a
think she
really
did.
good actress. If you look at her in Daredevil, when she played that nurse, I can't remember the name of the character. She was brilliant in that.
I
then
agree.
And then you get to this, because I've only seen one episode of Ahsoka, and she's just, there's nothing for her to work off there.
Dreadful, but it's I don't blame her. I think that she's doing what she's being told, and she's being directed by Dave Filoni, who I guess just doesn't know how to work with human actors. And no, I'm not even kidding. All he knows how to do
you're
is animate
absolutely
stuff.
right, Price.
Also, in animation, you could fix things. You can say, make her jump in the air, make her face look like this, make her face look like that. If you don't know how to direct your actors and you just film it thinking that it's a cartoon that you could then make changes, well, you can't. And he's not good at directing actors, apparently. There's no way
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah, there's
No,
no way.
absolutely right. I mean, he's got so used to doing cartoons. His characters are cartoonish. Their situations are cartoonish. Their behaviors. Just stick with what you know, mate.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years. He knows how to make cartoons. He doesn't know how to make films. He goes with the what looks cool rather than what looks good on film.
But isn't he the honcho now?
Yes.
He's the honcho. And you know what? There's a way to fix it. They could have actually
Sack him.
sent him out to learn properly. Maybe they thought that by working with Favreau, he'll learn. I guess that wasn't enough learning. He needed to actually go and study how to work with actors. Maybe take a professional course. You know, it's not beneath him. Before you do like a $200 million show or whatever Ahsoka was, go and do a few classes on how to direct actors, their emotions, work with some experts, and then come back and do your stinky show.
Stinky show.
Ian, perhaps you should offer your services to Filoni.
He wrote him a letter, but he never got back to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Dear
Sorry,
Dave,
I
could you
couldn't
fix
help
it for
myself. I
me?
apologize.
Boom-tish. There's one good thing about Rosario. She didn't call us all racist. That's I
Yeah.
respect that at least.
Yep.
She's one of the few.
One.
I do like her though. I think she's a brilliant actress as far as I'm concerned.
I liked her in Sin City. She was super hot in that.
Oh god,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
that
when
was
you
good,
could have
too.
super hot girls, isn't it? Those,
Sin
Couldn't-
City had a lot of hot girls in it. You know, think of Jessica Alba. She
She's
was
20 years ago, though, wasn't it?
Did she strip off in Trance? Do you remember that?
yeah.
I quite like that film. Danny
But she
Boyle's
got
Trance.
tortured in Sin City, didn't she? By that guy. I can't remember the guy who was torturing her. She was tied to a chair and stuff. You'll never have that today. Never.
No,
No.
it was Trance.
That was a
Hello,
very,
Dark
she did
Side.
very well in Sin City. I thought it really showed her range as an actress.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, chat moved up. Come on, people. Wrench. She got him out in Alexander
I think
2004.
when
didn't
I
she?
noticed
did.
her was I can't remember the name of the film. It had Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. It was like a runaway train film.
Oh, that
And
train
that's when I
thing, yeah,
noticed
yeah.
her. That's when I noticed her. Realized that she was smoking hot.
Yeah, she's a good
Men
looking
in
girl.
Black is the first thing I remember her in.
Oh, okay. Second one.
Whatever Men in Black it was, yeah, second one.
Two, yeah, two.
Okay. Do you want to? Oh, sorry, chat moved up. Here you go. Got what out?
Her binoculars.
Unstoppable was the
Oh, was
movie.
it? Yeah, I kind of enjoyed
Did
that
they
movie.
did they stop it in the end?
Yes, they did.
So it was,
It
a-
was
so it
interesting.
was bleeding then.
False
Remember-
advertising.
Remember that film Unthinkable,
Unthinkable.
where they've got the guy, he's got a nuclear bomb planted in the city, and they're trying to interrogate him.
Oh, is that the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Sheen, is it?
Yeah, yeah. Michael Sheen's the
Right.
terrorist.
Well,
Yeah.
we used to joke about that. Unthinkable was a documentary about the Titanic,
Very
narrated
good.
by Chris Eubank.
Dear, oh dear.
Never
Wah.
mind. Boom-tish.
Yeah, 0 week.
He-
What's this?
Who says?
Hours. It's coming early.
Skeleton
How great
Crew.
is that?
Never come early, folks. Will now premiere earlier on December 2 at 6 p.m. And then we've got a full list of directors and episodes.
Don't
So we're
care.
going to be quite busy.
They
Don't
are.
care. Don't care.
I've already got 1,500 tweets to insult the kids in it.
Don't care.
We are covering this, Ian, so you're going to watch the first episode at least.
I watched the first episode, but that's it.
And then the second.
Well, if
and
it's
then
good,
the third.
now if it's good, I'll keep watching. But
Ruin's coming out of retirement.
Isn't Platoon joining us?
Yeah, he sent him. Yep. Platoon will be back as well, folks.
Excellent.
We get
your
Trevor as
pillows
well.
out, guys. Platoon's
All
back.
coming together.
Get your pillows out, guys. Platoon's coming back. Oh dear.
So we're not.
Well-
I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Nice diversion before Christmas.
If we approach it like it's not Star Wars, I think it should be bearable. If we think it's part of the larger Star Wars universe, we're just going to be utterly pissed off.
I think it's going to be super cringe. In the clip that I saw, it looked terrible, and that's what I'm expecting. If it happens to be good, I'll admit it's good, but I think it's going to be cringe.
Yeah, do you want to join us 1 week price?
Yeah, it sounds fun to me.
Rest assured, a panel of men moaning about Star Wars is new and original content.
It sounds like a fun time. I would be up for it if you need a person.
Yeah,
What was that
Platoon's
witch one
back.
that we
Amazing.
did? What was that? Oh, the Acolyte. Oh my god, that was painful to watch. Holy crap.
More painful for us because we covered everyone, didn't we?
Yeah, it was all equally terrible. I've never
Apart from
seen a
when the witches
series.
died and when the witches died and overloaded on the Force, that was pissful.
The Acolyte was laughably bad, though.
Yeah, and it kept getting progressively worse from week to week. I've never heard of a series doing that before. There's at least something to keep you engaged, but this wasn't nothing at all.
Most shows on Disney Plus, they have a rule: the first episode is the best episode. Now, I say that even if
it's
it's like you're
downhill.
saying, even if you say this show is shit, whatever that first episode is, that's the best one.
I normally say that. So
Do you think this show could actually, as we said, don't treat it as a Star Wars show and just kind of maybe enjoy it for a piece of entertainment? What do we think?
It's probably the best approach.
don't care.
They said it's a Star Wars show. I have to look at it
That
part of the
was-
universe.
that
What am I gonna do?
Star Wars. Was it War of Stars? It's War of Stars, isn't it?
Who cares?
Don't care. Oh, come on, Ian.
Again,
Cheer
I'll
up,
watch.
mate.
I'll watch
Come
one
on.
episode. If it's good, I'll carry on watching.
No,
and-
you've got to at least do 3 episodes.
No,
Did you-
why? You
She's
you
torturing
made,
the man.
you made me do. You made me do the whole of the Last Mandalorian, and I hated every episode.
Oh, you told me you loved it.
Yeah, very funny. I
You love it.
hated it.
You know what? I'd be more inclined to watch this if Jude Law wasn't cast and they got what's his face who plays Short Round to be in that role.
Oh, it's for you.
Mm. Is that the police?
Hello?
It's the police.
Is it? Oh,
I don't know.
they joined us, did they?
Okay.
What's
I
the
think
actor's role? What's the actor's name from Goonies who played Short Round?
Key something. Key one. What's his name? Key
2.
Key two.
Key
They should have
3.
got him to be that role.
Key
play that
4.
role anyway. I would have been
Yeah,
on board with that.
He's starring in a new film, isn't he? Where he plays as it's kind of like Bourne, but it's a comedy.
They should have got him
he's an
back
agent.
for what do you call it as well?
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, yeah.
Still haven't seen that.
The only thing that spoils Key is his voice. It's still babyish, and you can't take
It was
him
in.
seriously.
It was in Loki season 2.
Yeah, I can't take him seriously. Like he's kicking ass, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit you," and it's like, "What?"
He was actually the only good thing about that Loki thing. I thought the Loki season 2 was terrible.
Well, do you know what? It was terrible, but I said this before. I think it's probably the best series of Marvel in the
Low
new,
bar.
in
But
the new.
I don't
It was
even know
it
if
was
that-
it was watchable.
I don't know. It's so it was so forgettable that I struggle to remember what even went on there, but I remember suffering.
It was
That's what I
certainly
remember.
it was certainly better than season 1. A lot better.
By the way, I apologize for the phone call. It was somebody in India that had that wanted to loan me money.
Oh, you should have took it because they've got a long way to come if they want
In
to back.
India,
I'm speculating. You know how sometimes you see those videos where there's some kind of crooked call center? Sorry, I'm not saying that all the call centers in India are crooked, but you know what I'm trying to say, that you see those videos where there's like the scam artist. So it was a guy that didn't speak English well, and he said that he wanted to give me a lot of money.
Dead Gamers 13. If Skeleton Crew's Disney minus best Star Wars show, one will eat my hats. I'll eat my hats. I'll eat Dave Filoni's hats. Yowza.
I'll
Okay.
definitely eat Rosario Dawson's Downs cat anyway.
But they haven't given us Star Wars ever since Disney's taken over. They've not given us Star Wars yet.
No.
We're still waiting. Still waiting.
Here you go. Common people. Wrenched. What's Leslie doing in India? She's celebrating.
I have no idea.
It was a birthday this week, wasn't it?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Oh, he didn't send her a card. Oh,
Happy birthday to the Acolyte creator, Leslie Headland. May the force be with Price.
May the force be with her square head.
Look at what you've missed out there, Price.
I want to Photoshop that bottom left-hand picture there and put a cigarette in her fingers.
Seriously.
What about a bit of a threesome top corner there, Price? What do you reckon?
That head is ridiculous, isn't it? Look at it.
What prices? Yeah.
Lego.
The last time that I was in the same room as Leslie Headland was in 2015. So don't know. And and that wasn't even the time that I had a drink with her. That was the time that I was at an event that later I saw pictures from the event, and I much later noticed that she was at this event, but I didn't recognize her at the time.
Stalking her?
No, it was like a cocktail. I went to a screening of some movie, and it was sort of a cocktail party after the screening, and she was there, but I didn't recognize her at that point because about 10 years had gone by from the previous time, or 9 years had gone by from the previous time that I'd seen her. And I guess she looked very different already then. And she looks even more different now.
So her head has kind of got slowly more and more square over the years.
More square, yes. More square.
Gosh.
Squarehead.
I think she looks like, I can't remember her name. Somebody tell me that one's name. Heather was in Mission Impossible. That rotten old thing that you all think's good looking.
Oh, pack it in.
What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Haley Atwell.
No. Oh,
Haley Atwell.
You don't think she looks all right? Haley Atwell is attractive.
How dare you?
Not at all. Not remotely. Maybe
I'm
20
not
years
gonna
ago.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I think there's something. Yeah, I actually didn't especially like her prior to Mission Impossible, but then I kind of looked at her and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like her.
Oh, nice.
I think she looks like Leslie Headland.
No, if she looked like Leslie Headland, never mind. I'm going to shut up now.
Edley Lesland. I'm not going to read your super chat out now.
I am going to be quiet now.
I've triggered the chat.
Time to get some new specs there, Melv. I think.
I wish she looked like Leslie Headland. Or
she's a rotten old right-angled thing.
I wish she looked like Leslie Headland. And then imagine if, the time that I met Leslie Headland, she looked like her, but also a young her.
You'd have been straight in there, wouldn't you?
That would have been. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it would have worked out, but I probably would have at least made an effort.
We're going to super chat, folks. Melvin Deeply, wrenched 2 pounds, real money at the moment. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is turd-like.
Okay.
I've heard that from someone before.
Yeah, I think someone really doesn't like that film. Can't remember who it was.
It's a passage from the Bible.
Do you at least admit that Margot Robbie looks good in it?
Margot Robbie probably.
If you don't think she looks good in it, then
she doesn't do anything.
Margot Robbie looks fantastic most of the time. That wasn't one of her better films where she looked better. I think she was a peak in Wolf of Wall Street.
I like the bit where Brad Pitt gets that guy to change his tire. I thought that was a good scene. I don't know if you remember that scene where they.
Melvin, I'll give you one thing. She looks fantastic in Wolf of Wall Street. Really, she looks so great there. But I can't say that in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood she didn't look good. I mean, you're being very nitpicky here.
No. I mean, I never said she didn't look good. She was peak on Wolf of Wall Street. She was like 23. She was like 10 out of 10 in Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm not 20 years. I'm not 20 years old, and for me, the way even she looks right now is perfectly fine.
I wouldn't step over her to get to Haley Atwell.
What? See, here you go, folks. See, I can get behind this. Haley Atwell was made for ploughing, indeed.
Yeah, hook her up to a plough and let her get that field sorted.
Fine-looking woman. I don't know what's wrong with you, man.
No, I like Haley Atwell too. I mean, Margot Robbie. It's a different style, and I maybe like that a little more. But Haley Atwell is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Okay, right. All people will take it.
How did we get to talking about this?
Sword in the Storm, who's wrenched, by the way, likes to make all these big comments, mainly the opposite of what we're talking about, and making a point. I think Sword has lost all credibility. I've never seen Wolf of Wall Street, if I can say it. What?
Do you think you might be Time Prophet in disguise?
I've only seen it once.
That's such a great movie. You should watch it. There is a 4-hour cut, apparently. God, I'd love to watch the Wolf of Wall Street. I'd love to watch it. the big mega
Wow.
cut. Such a fucking great film.
I still haven't seen that. Is it really worth watching?
Oh, it's a great film.
Yeah, good movie.
Eve. Yeah, it's a great movie. And on that bombshell, I think that is it, folks. 2 hours seems
Thank
a
God.
yes. 2 hours seems a very, very nice place to finish. So, chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for turning up and listening to this rabble talk bollocks as we do. Thank you for the interaction, the super chats, and being there, folks. You're the best. Please don't forget, just leave a comment afterwards, press a thumbs up, do all that kind of algorithm stuff, and I will love you forever. Chat, you're the best. We'll see you next time. I will thank the guests. Oh. Cheers, Ed.
No worries.
Oh, God, I'm getting confused now.
Price
The price is right.
Yes.
Cheers, the price is right.
Cheers.
Come on
Welcome, Mr.
down.
Melvin Deeply of Sir whatever. Cheers, Melvin.
Nee, bother, Brun.
He doesn't like Haley Atwell.
Gay.
I don't find her attractive, or I find it very strange that so many people do.
I actually think there's something appealing about her. I don't know why you know, it's a strange comment that you're making, but what can I do?
I've got a photograph I'm going to send you shortly, and then you'll see what I mean.
Price of Reason, the real one. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You've been on fire tonight, mate. Last couple of streams, you've been on fire, pal. At Mr. Brown Alliance, that's me. And last but by no means least, Golden Reach around Droid. Are you available, Z?
I most certainly am. Z on the panel says good night to the chat. Good night to everybody on the panel. And thanks for having me on again.
And there's a super chat. Are you available, please? And then we'll take our leave.
Anton Gray, wrenched for $2, says Wolf of Wall Street is shit. It is.
He knows fuck all. We are back Friday, folks, with the member stream, which isn't a member stream. It's just us free riffing and just being naughty. So we will see you Friday. I think Melvin and I and Brian are modding Open Bar tomorrow if it's on. We'll see you in a couple of days, folks. Look after yourselves. Taddy bye.
Bye.
Cheerio, people.